So guys, if you're one of these players who think taking mid on Ancient is super important, then I'm here to tell you that you have no clue on how this map works in pucks. Luckily, all you have to do to fix this is to watch this video, and afterwards you will be way better on this map than almost anyone you play with. So most of the time when pucking on Ancient, the default setup is a 1-2-2. 1A, 2 mid, 2B. I personally think this setup is pretty terrible in pucks, but I will come back to that later on. Usually when you have two players in mid, they will most likely try to gain control over the mid area and try to be aggressive, maybe smoke this off from spawn or smoke this off from here, and then try to jump up the box to try to fight anyone that's trying to come towards cave. One of the first things that most mid players get wrong is that they expect their cave player to be very aggressive every round to help them to fight anyone inside of the heaven area or anyone that's trying to play in front of B. The problem with this is that it forces the B player to be extremely passive, because if he dies, the round is pretty much over, since T's can now smoke this off, gain control over this area, and make the retake almost impossible. The second thing that most mid players get wrong is that they don't understand that if their cave player has the A spawn or this spawn right here, the usual molly that the cave player likes to do will be too late, so any T that's trying to push towards cave will just take 1 or 2 ticks. So now the best thing that the cave player can do is do a nade like this and ask his B player to nade as well. But most of the times when doing this in pucks, the nades will not be perfectly timed together, so it's very likely that the T will just tank one nade and then rush towards the cave area. If the T's now also smoke off cave, which is pretty common, the only thing that the cave player can do is do a little bit of spam and try to do some damage. Obviously, this is not really enough to stop anyone pushing heaven, so it's really dangerous for you as a CT to play around in this area, since any T that is playing elbow can just wait here inside of the smoke, and then when his teammates arrive in heaven, just pop out of the smoke and try to kill you together. Some mid players think that it's really easy for the cave guy to just stand inside of the smoke, and then when he hears them crossing, just pop out and try to shoot them in the back. But obviously it's super easy for any T that's standing here to just hold the smoke and then farm anyone that's coming out of the smoke. So now you will understand that there are some pretty common scenarios where your cave player can't really stop the T's from going heaven, and if that's the case, being close in mid is extremely dangerous because they can now split mid super easily from heaven and elbow. The next thing that's extremely bad about this is that the guys in mid will have extremely long rotations. Rotating through city is extremely long, and you will most likely be too late and then just be smoked off here and forced to play for the retake, which is almost impossible if T's have already control over this area. Rotating towards the B side from heaven is also very bad because, again, as we said, it's super easy for any mid player to just lurk through the mid smoke and then just flank you while you're climbing up the box. And it's also super easy for anyone that's doing the beam nades to just come towards this door here and then hold the heaven push, making it really hard for you as a CT to react when your B player dies. So now you should already understand that playing mid in this way is super trash, because all it takes for you to lose the round is one mistake from the B player, and then the T's have the side for free. If the T's are hitting B a lot, any good cave player will try to stay a little bit more towards the side in order to help his B teammate. And then as a mid player, you're again in a scenario where the cave player can't really help you to stop anyone from pushing through heaven towards mid area. And then, as we said earlier, it's really dangerous for you to be here. The way good mid players react to that is by playing a little bit more passive in the beginning of the round. This way, the mid players are not as vulnerable to any fast mid takes or splits from heaven, and the guy playing in window has much better rotation towards the B side. So if you're playing mid on Ancient, you should play a little bit more passive most of the time and see what the T's are doing. If you do that, you will never be caught off guard and have way more options when it comes to rotations later on in the round. Of course, from time to time it will be good to be aggressive in mid, and then you can have one guy from spawn smoking this, or you can smoke this on the fly, especially if you notice that the T's are playing very passive, and then you can just jump up the box and try to kill or fight anyone that's playing in front of B. One more really important thing as a second mid player or the donut player is to recognize when the T's are not going A a lot. In this scenario, you should tell your A player that he is free to rotate towards the B side. For you as a donut player, it's extremely easy to rotate towards the A side, try to hold an off angle, get an easy kill, and then play for the retake. Or if you have an AWP, you can always go for a shot, hold another angle, go for a shot, and then fall back. If you still have a nade, you can also just blow up the smoke and try to deny any plant. And if you're going for the retake, one really good smoke that you can use is this one, where you just get into this corner right here, aim like so, simple jump throw, and this smoke is going to land like so, blocking off main completely, making it just way easier for your teammates to come out main and clear this corner here. And it also makes your life way easier when you come out donut, that you don't have to be worried about someone picking you for main. If you play this way, your teammates on B are free to play two guys in cave, and then they can try to fight anyone that's coming from heaven, or if they get smoked, they can just blow up the smoke here and then fight again. And then they will have just one guy playing a little bit more passive towards the B side, and then the window guy can always rotate towards the B side very quickly, making it really hard for the T's to take cave control because they have to fight 2 players, and if they're hitting B side, they will have to fight 4 players really quickly, and B is the way more popular side on this map. The only real downside of this setup is when the T's are full exploding A and you can't make the retake work, or they just contact out A, but this is extremely rare in pucks unless you're at a very high elo. If you recognize that the T's understand that A is open very often, just bring back your opper towards the A side and then just let him ult A main. And then again play a little bit more passive in mid so the donut guy can quickly rotate towards the A side and the mid guy can rotate towards the A side as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it guys for the video. I hope your understanding of mid on Ancient is way better now. And if you did like the video, feel free to leave a like or subscribe to the channel and leave a comment on what you want to see next. Don't forget, I'm currently offering 1 month of free coaching, so if you're interested in that, feel free to check out the description. As always guys, have a nice day and I catch you in the next one. Bye bye.